Okay, here goes. This is going to be a reading for the sign of Gemini. We're going to get through all the readings for each sign, but just possibly at different points in time, randomly selecting more or less 2 readings to do per day. Maybe a little bit more, maybe a little bit less. Sacred Pool is coming out for you, Gemini. You could be marinating on something quite literally, like thinking about it. You know how you got to marinate a steak overnight? Here's number 24. Stuck in the mud. Yeah, I think you're washing yourself or cleansing. This just gives me spiritual bath. Sacred Pool plus not being stuck in the mud. You're not into mud baths, okay? Like if you were a spa technician, the last thing you'd be booking yourself for is a mud bath. This is number 52, the magical map shifter. You got listening in the reverse, and then bottom of the deck is the wishing well. You could just be doing really, could be doing yourself a solid, is what I'm gonna say. If you see that this woman is facing this direction, she's actually walking towards this little well that is just sitting on the ground, full of coin, right? Full of coin, gold coins. There is a bunch of butterflies that are also bursting out of there like they're molten lava, and then there's a mask. And this woman is just observing all those things and also pointing it out, bringing attention to it. This is number 48. So you've got 48 and then 47 immediately. 48 is here, 47 is here. This is 24, 52, and 53. That's interesting because these two are consecutive and those two are consecutive, meaning that this is the only number that's out here reversed or in the upright that does not have a consecutive number next to it. So it's number 24 in the reverse. And it's kind of indicative of having something really heavy weighing on your back. I know that there's only like a small little bird on this elephant's back, but it's the I don't know how the phrase goes. It broke the camel's back. That one little extra weight was all it took to break the camel's back. It was too much. It was you could be here with the sacred pool. It's almost like you're like, well, yeah, that sacred pool looks really relaxing, but not if it's full of mud, which in this specific case could just be people wrapping themselves around something that you deem to be precious or something that you deem to be very important or hold a lot of stature. I'm just knowing, the Fabergé eggs that they've got. I always think of that as like a Fabergé egg. And sometimes the snakes appear to be decorating the outside of the Fabergé egg, and other days it appears to be attacking it. Some days it appears to be hugging it. It's really, that's what I mean. There's something about this egg energy that you're looking for the gold, but you don't want the things attached to the gold, if that makes sense. And I don't necessarily get the feeling that you're not willing to put the work in, but I am saying that there's something about you shifting things around based off of what you're hearing, because listening is here in the reverse. So you could be going to court, like having a hearing date. You could be paying more attention to this, whatever this is, number 52, being the magical map shifter rather than the one listening to the magical map shifter. It's the difference between driving the car or being the passenger. You would prefer to be able to navigate. Yeah, this is bats. It's like a crazy idea. It's almost like if I have to go on a crazy car ride, right? Or drive with somebody that I think is crazy on a car ride, I'm going to drive the whole way so that I don't feel like my life is being put in danger. Yeah, like there's the star card sticking out right behind the snake. This is this snake. This is from a different, like, this is from the bird's eye perspective of what's going on with this very specific Fabergé egg. That's what's being, there's some type of energy here that has the absolute intention of circling around something, not listening to the knowledge or the gnosis is what it's called, Gnosticism that comes from understanding geometric, sacred shapes, forms, life forms, metrics. Somebody just flat out is just not, it's almost like they see it, but they don't see it. Like they can't, it isn't actualized in their world yet. So the snake is a warning. It's a letting somebody know. If a Yeah, so it's the bird's eye perspective, I feel, because it's from like the perspective of an elephant, which is huge compared to most other animals, right? If the elephant can look down on this snake and see that there's a snake wrapped around an egg, which is in this world, the world, right? The idea of the world, and nothing is done about it, that's when the snake has then effectively become deaf to the bullshit. It is a crazy occurrence, but it's almost like listening to two cars in front of you slam their brakes on, screech, and then hit something. If you've already heard it twice, are you going to put your brakes on, or are you just going to continue to recklessly break eggs or encapsulate them? That's the question here at the wishing well. And rather than listening to the crazy part of self that's like, oh, just keep driving, even if you see a huge anaconda crossing the road. Keep driving. Don't worry about it flipping your car. It's snakes on a plane. It's realizing that like you're stuck in this thing with yourself plus however many snakes, however many eggs, right? And you've either got look at all this is like literally as reflective as you could possibly be. There again is a sea serpent eating its own tail again. Here's the eggs. Here's the bird's eye view. Someone doesn't know how to wrap themselves around someone else's success or someone else's idea. This could be you, Gemini. Either this is your energy, Gemini, where you got the bright idea and someone can't really figure out how to put their finger on it. I'm just hearing someone, I'm saying, I can't quite figure out how to put my finger on it. It's there's a specific piece of information that I think you're looking at, that you're actualizing. There's like, that's the target. This is what you grow out of it, is the egg. That egg, they can't figure out quite how to choke it out, is what I'm seeing here. Or with these other two, it's like there's, as soon as the baby snakes come out of this egg, they start circling, their own egg, another egg. It's kind of interesting because it is such a mirroring situation that you got going on. Let me see what comes out for the bottom of the deck with the wishing well. Okay, so there you got the lizard, which is, I guess, if depending on your opinion, water snakes. You have water snakes as well as land snakes already out there. Now you've got lizards. Okay. Komodo dragons are probably about the biggest lizard I've ever seen. Komodo dragons. And this wishing well is, I just want to show you too that the mother or the moth card The only reason I call this the mother card is just because if you add an ER, then there's mother instead of moth. This is kind of like the dragon in the making. So if we put these wings onto this lizard, you mesh them together, you automatically get a dragon. Okay? And that's the value of whatever is in this wishing well is the evolutionary understanding of what's going on. That you're rapidly moving from this idea that no one can really quite put their finger on to this golden egg, to the entire world staring at it, to the jealousy of people staring at it, to automatic evolution at the wishing well, where whatever motherly energy is spilling out, or whatever nutrients, I'm just going to say, whatever mask is being exalted here. If you see that mask flying through the air, whatever mask, whatever, it's the cocoon metamorphosis. These are the cocoons. There are at least 2 of them. And there's multiple people with their eyes on it, and right in their face, look at, there goes the metamorphosis, because this is the dragon. That's the dragon right there. So you've now pulled snakes, lizards, dragons, and a whole host, is what I want to say, of motherly instincts directly out of yourself. There's the third. This is literally all the eggs in the entire deck are now on the table. When I said motherly instincts, the black egg came out. So now there's 3 levels of protection. You're not putting your treasure in any kind of danger because you've got this amazing evolutionary trail going on. From these eggs, you made a snake, a lizard, and a dragon. However that goes, okay? It's very Game of Thrones with Khaleesi over here. You figured out the cheat code on whatever game it is that you're playing to get a bottomless pit of wealth and riches. Of wealth and riches. I don't know if you've ever played cheat codes, but like on The Sims, for example, if you want endless amounts of money, there's a cheat code that you enter, and all of a sudden The Sims bank account is overflowing. It's the refusal to do anything except for protect your treasure. And as a mother, it is your offspring. It is the evolutionary process of your offspring that you're watching so intently, that you're keeping other predators away from, and that you are absolutely going to incubate as well as raise. If you've never seen that movie, Raising Dion, it's I don't know if it's Marvel or not, but I think it's based off of a cartoon or some type of magazine, like a cartoon magazine. I don't know for sure though. It is about a little boy who has supernatural powers, and the plight that his mother has to face as a result of that. It's actually extremely stressful for her because she doesn't know how to help him be a normal little boy. During his childhood, she doesn't necessarily know how to keep him safe from powers that she doesn't even understand and that are not even completely developed for him yet. So that's kind of the Gemini reading. However, I'm also going to pull these. Yeah. It doesn't look like you're really running that much from taking your spot on the royal court, if you will. Maybe that's the hearing energy or the court energy that I was here. Somebody saying here. Yeah, there's something. It's like you already have a castle. you followed your fairy godmothers and your fairy people, right, straight to the door of a castle. I think you may just feel like you're good. Like, yeah, look, that's in the reverse. This was rags to riches energy. So you're no longer in rags. Now you understand how to control your bibbity bobbity boo function, your bob back and forth function, like be Bob the Builder, if you know what I mean. And you also know, yeah, how to get in and out of your own kingdom in a way that will not necessarily burst anyone's bubble. And I'm only saying that because we had all those eggs cards and all of the kind of infinity Gnosticism cards coming out here. That's the overriding idea, would be to enlighten as many people as you possibly could while also staying in the shadows or in the dark. That would be why. It's like you have figured out a way to shine a light through a storm towards something or somebody that otherwise would have probably broken all the eggs in the nest. You understand what I mean? Like all the eggs would have been gone, or most of the value of something would not have been seen. Just think of that, protecting the treasure and then also having the wishing well full of treasure that now overfloweth. It's like your cup overfloweth. Your skill set abounds, however that is. It's a, you know how people sometimes talk in code? I don't think you're talking in code. I think you're being relatively blunt and honest. I think you've gotten to a place in life where you don't have to dress yourself or hide behind, yeah, look, there's partnerships and love in the upright, and then discontentment in the reverse, meaning whatever it is that you're partnering with or whatever it is that you're doing for your job right now, however it is that you're achieving things in life, your wishing well is what's keeping you like good, you know? The wishing well is the cup to a certain degree, and it is overflowing. It's like you know, in The Ring, the movie The Ring, it's a horror movie about a Japanese little girl that is adopted and she ends up dying in a well. I think this is the equivalent of solving the case of like figuring out Ghostbusters, Sherlock Holmes, and Nancy Drew all work together, you know? I think this is the epitome of understanding what it is that you need to do for yourself and for other people to make the process go faster. This is epiphany moment. So aha, a voila, boom bada bing type of moment. Okay. This is you standing in self-actualization, you taking a lotus bomb flower and making it detonate. Okay. That's the equivalent of this energy. It's you realizing, oh, I don't even need magic to get through this. Like I have magic and I could use it, but there's no point if I'm getting what I want, if that makes sense. Like there's no reason that I would have to detonate anything, a bomb, atomically or otherwise, if I can just use what I already know to be true to my advantage, right? Yeah, here's family in the reverse. So when you're growing up with a family that has maybe not as much money or not as highly educated, possibly has gender inequality going on, if it's like a single mother, single father home, a whole bunch of different factors that go into one thing. This is the realization that you've got all the kind of resources that you need to remove yourself from that and kind of improve things, because that's what magic wands do. There's a purpose. That's what I mean by magic wands. They cause homes, okay? They cause homes to happen. Your home sweet home is it doesn't have to be where you lay your hat. That doesn't have to be where you build your home. But it is the purpose and the meaning behind it is like to create peaceful, orderly serenity that can be replicated. over and over again. New beginnings is at the bottom of the deck. This is number 11. And that goes with the storm field in reverse. So instead of being in a storm field, now you're just in a field, which is a lot. I mean, if depending on your dressing choices, your clothing choices that day, it could be a lot or it could be a little. It could be significant to you. It could just mean like, wow, I've never been in the middle of a field that I can look in every direction and not see a house, a building. It could just be a new experience like that. Or it could be like, I've never stayed dry for this long. Or I've never been this soaked, soaking wet. Just really thankful for a cup of hot chocolate and a good book to read. It could just be something as simple as that, but you'll know how this applies to your life, Gemini. Hopefully that was helpful.